Yes, we welcome Alison Thompson here today. She is a phenomenal crocheter. I've been following you for a while, Alison. It's been very lovely to have you on board with us. And I'd just like to ask you a few questions today.
Okay.
How did crochet sneak into your life? How did you start?
I started crocheting, I started knitting. I've always loved craft, so I've always been a crafty person. And knitting's fine. My mum can knit, so crochet, did I listen to her? No. Did I take any notice growing up? No. Got into had kids and was working in sort of marketing, film production, that sort of thing. And then it just got to a point where I lost a baby, and then nothing mattered. Nothing else mattered, but I needed to make something. And so I tried. I got a sewing machine. I was making soaps and jams and anything I could get my hands on. And crochet just stuck. It just was one of those things that I went, okay, you're my thing. You're my thing that works. And that real sense of achievement that I needed, that sense of accomplishment of being able to do something, I could get that instant gratification from crochet. It was that real quick start finish sort of thing, and I didn't look back.
That's it, right? It's also to do with like the counting. It just calms your mind. It just softens it. It quietens it. And you're like the colours, everything. I think everything about it's completely different to knitting.
Absolutely,
there is a real difference.
Absolutely.
Do you remember the first thing you ever crocheted?
It wasn't pretty.
Did it look like what it was meant to?
No, it did not. No, because I'd gone from knitting, and when I teach, I always say you have to get yourself comfortable with the stitches. So this is obviously what I was doing, but I was yarning over like a knitter because I'd come from, and so it was like this baggiest loose. The tension was horrendous. I think I'd tried a granny square. I'd got 4 stitches, and I said to Mum, "Look what I've made." And she's like, "Oh, that's nice." But yeah, no, it was not an attractive make. But that's not what it's about. It was the process.
I think that's what it's all about, and then the finished product doesn't necessarily have to be the thing that you started off thinking it was.
No, exactly. But
you know,
did I enjoy the process? Yes, I did. Have I learned something? Have I, sort of got my skills going? Have I calmed my mind? All of those things. Yeah.
That's it. And a lot of your work is these beautiful flowers. Where did your love of floral crochet come from?
Do you know what? I don't know where it came from, I have to say. But I think because of the sort of the mental health, I had a very good friend who was a psychologist, and she would always talk to me about, okay, you need to focus on getting plenty of sleep. That grounding, getting out, just taking your shoes and socks off and touching nature. And I think that was one of the things that really worked for me, was just being outside. Whether it was, going for a walk with my daughter in the pram, even if I was, completely having a meltdown, being outside. And I think that the flowers really sort of that brightness of colour, that glimmer, when you're walking around and you see, that really, maybe I'm just weird, but you see that really special leaf on the floor that you can't walk past. Or, I'm a big fan of sticks, and I'll walk past and go, oh my goodness, look at that little stick there, I love you, you're straight, or you've got like a nice little curve to you. So nature was a real thing of beauty, and also nothing was completely perfect. And that really appealed to me, the fact that I've had a lot of people say to me, oh, flowers don't have 6 petals. And I'm like, I don't care. My flowers do. Yeah, if I want to have 6 petals, then I will do. So, you can really play with it. And that, so it was, the colour, I'm a big colour fan.
And they do bring a lot of happiness, anything little and colourful.
Absolutely, and one of the big things for me with these is the gifting of them. Not necessarily making them to sell, which I have done, but just being able to gift them. Because
these ones don't die.
They don't. Pair them with just some natural, just some eucalyptus leaves, and and put them into a bouquet, and to see someone's face is really, really sort of warms my heart. So yeah, it's the colour, the gifting, that sort of self-care.
Definitely. When you sit down with your yarn, do you usually have a plan?
No. Nope. No, very rarely have a plan. Sometimes I'll have things that I need to do, things that I need to create, and that often I find that exhausting if it's something I need to do. But no, I'll sit down and have a play. That's what it's all about, and pull things down, look at it and think, well, that doesn't look like what it was supposed to look like. But no, definitely I'm not a great planner.
No, but I just love like the lavender. You've really started exploring the flowers, right? You've got the wattle, and then you've got these lavender. The tulips are just beautiful.
Yeah, and it's just playing around with the stitches.
Yeah.
And I mean, we know that with crochet, there's not a lot of different types. There's lots of different types of stitches, but you need, as long as you've got the fundamentals, then you can play around with where you place them. And there's a lot of people will say, oh, you must do this or you must put this here. But you kind of don't have to.
Crochet is more freeform.
Once you can get away from going, well, this is exactly what we're supposed to do with where we're supposed to put the hook, use it to your advantage and create the shapes. And that's what I love doing, is going, okay, well, lavender doesn't traditionally, look like that. But when you glue it on, and it pushes down, it kind of gives a bit more of a boxy shape, but that's just the gluing.
Yeah.
That's not in the shape of the crochet or the particular thing. And, and these are just, they just work. So then just playing around with how long they are. And, one day I did that and went, oh, look, that's just curled. I love that. Quick, write a note.
Yes.
So it's just a playing around with the stitches, the placement of them, and seeing what sort of flower I can create from it. And some of them are weird and wonderful and perhaps don't exist in nature, but that's also okay.
That's fine. That's so fine. What have you got in your project bag right now? What are you working on?
I am working on, obviously I've been slightly distracted with the purchase of the weaving loom.
Yes, Morris & Sons have Ashford weaving looms at the moment, and
goodness,
we have both purchased one,
and
haven't we?
it is the most fabulous thing, but it's amazing. So that's slightly distracted me, but I'm working on a lot of sunflowers at the moment. So this is my supersized sunflower, so I've been doing a lot of these. Which I just love, and I've just put some information together for a yarn bomb. Ooh. Which is very exciting. So because I realised as I was writing out the information and the project ideas how much I've missed doing it, because I've not done a yarn bomb where you wrap things around the trees, and I've not done one for a while. So
fun.
Yeah, there's some fun things.
Yeah, this is absolutely beautiful.
She's
and
cute.
I was talking to Alison before, because see these petals, they're wired. She's crocheted talentedly wire in these petals for them to sit
so that they can
beautifully.
So that, because I was finding that when I was making the flowers they would just droop. So I thought, okay, what can I do to make them stand up? So once I've done, and this is done with these petals, I just go round with the small ones, round with the center of the big ones, and then I make the petal shape, and then I single crochet around the outside with wire underneath the. So when you first do it, it's sort of kind of looks a bit all whatever. And then you can and this is what gives it the personality, because you can then kind of, sort of pull them out. I can, twist that one and make it, like you can, each one then becomes completely unique.
Their own petal.
Exactly. If you want to have them taller and pointy, give it a real different sort of, shape to it. So I do that with the sunflowers when they're this size, and I did it with the tulip and the daffodils as well. Yeah, so it's and it's just floristry wire. so it's not nothing. This one probably needs something a bit thicker, because you can see she's quite weighty. This is the Avalon yarn. She's quite a weighty cotton, so I might have sort of used a thicker wire, but yeah, she's.
But again, it doesn't need to be perfect.
No,
the petals are petals. I don't think I've ever seen a perfect petaled flower.
Petaled. Say that 5 times.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. You have been teaching crochet for years.
Yep. I have.
And lots of crafts, actually, let's be honest.
Yes.
What's your favourite thing about teaching?
I love it when people have no idea how awesome they are, and they're like, oh, I'm never going to be able to do this. And then that little wave of, oh, I don't know, actually, yeah, I can do this. No, I don't know. Oh, hang on. And then that realization that in a really short period of time, they've got a new skill.
Yeah.
And the possibilities of what they can do with that skill is really, really exciting. And I love that. When you see that penny drop and they go, actually, it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Have you ever had a beginner surprise you with their just
Kids. They're great, absolutely great. So they all want to instantly be able to make toys. Like that's they instantly want to be able to create something amazing. But some of them, really incredible. Yep, they're just if they've got it, and then they go off and make. I've got a girlfriend's daughter she's 11, and she's won awards at the Easter show, and she's incredible, absolutely incredible. She does amazing things.
Wow. What would you say is a good go-to project for someone who's starting out?
I always say commit to a blanket.
Really?
Yeah, because that's how you practice.
That's true.
Backwards and forwards. Like you've got, if it's slightly wonky, that's okay. But
it's just going on you, isn't it?
You're just backwards and forwards, and then you can look, because by the time you get to the end of it, you're pretty amazing. So it's a good,
That is true. I think that's how I started, and my grandma taught me how to crochet, and then I think I left it for a couple of years, got the blanket back out again, and then just made up the stitches, and it was definitely different. I wasn't going in the right holes or anything like that, but I was going backward and forward.
Exactly.
And it did its purpose. It kept me warm overnight.
Exactly. So. And you've got a blanket, and you've practiced.
Yeah, that's it. I actually really think I know the answer to this, and I know what you're going to say, but crochet is super trendy again.
Yep.
Why do you think it is?
Obviously because of me. So
of course it is. Yes.
So trendy.
Yes.
Do you know what? Everything goes in waves, doesn't it? There's something that's, but I think it is in this. We're in a very fast-moving world, with socials, and the kids, and adults just as much, I guess.
Yeah.
It is that instant fix, quick fix,
Yeah.
quick fix. That you can get something rewarding, something a real achievement. You can really feel that sense of achievement from it.
Yeah, that is it. Tell me about your Simply Crochet debut.
It was very
That's
exciting.
I fangirled, because I love that
How
magazine.
good were their photos as well?
Oh
They're just
yeah, that hooked me in. But seeing you in it, I'm like,
so excited. So I got my sunflower, so this pattern and this pattern. So I sent these as a gift. So I did a bouquet of sunflowers, sent that over to the UK, and then gifted them some of these just as a little, because they hadn't asked for them. And then she rang and said, yeah, I think you might do that as well. And they just took the most amazing pictures, and it was super exciting, but it was really hard to get the magazine over here.
Yeah, it's so hard.
So to keep going, there were 2 or 3 different retailers, kept going in, am I there yet, am I there yet? And I got Mum, I was ringing Mum in the UK, can you just go and buy all of them? Buy them all!
Yes, definitely.
So I managed to get a few copies, but it was a really exciting moment, really exciting.
Definitely.
It was lovely to see in print. It's not very often you get to be in print, and that was a very exciting moment, yeah.
Yes, it seemed like I said, fangirled. And I was like, I love that, and that was such a big deal if someone was I knew was in that book. Loved it. Do you have a favourite colour of yarn?
All the colours.
All the colours.
Clearly yellow, I'm just saying, is obviously a big winner. I just love colour.
Yeah.
I love colour. I love it when there's two colours next to each other that are amazing. I love greens, I love yellows, I love oranges, I love pinks. I used to really love red, and now I can't crochet with it. I don't know why.
Ooh.
It's weird, strange, but I used to have red glasses. That was my thing. No,
you can't do it.
No, but just I love colour.
I think
Colour.
I think that the colours have different meanings too. I've heard a lot about pink.
Yep.
Like recently, about how people gravitate to pink when they're healing.
It's very much a good self-care colour.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
So I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's. I wonder what red
so
means.
it's like a I just red. Whether it's
Maybe you just don't need it anymore.
Maybe just I'm done with that colour.
Yeah.
Yellow is very much, I think, like a creative, sort of a fun play colour. So maybe it's just what mood I'm in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love colour.
If you could crochet anywhere in the world, and you could crochet anything, where would you be, and what would you be doing?
I would be. Thought about this. There's a lot. Anyway, there is a festival in Italy which is a yarn bombing festival, which actually that's not that sunflower, but I did another large sunflower that's over there. Yeah. So I was part of that, but I obviously had to. So I did the stem was a pool noodle, so that I could curl it and get it into a box, and then they could display it. But they have the most incredible pieces. So I would be in the streets of Italy, eating pizza, yarn bombing, or underneath one of those amazing. Have you seen those amazing canopies? Yeah, that's where I'd be.
Heaven.
Or at home with my mum. That would also be another massive favourite.
Lovely. In England.
In England, yeah.
Yeah. Well, tell me about your career. Like, what's been your crochet career?
Crochet career.
Give us some highlights.
I yarn bombed 4 trees down at Circular Quay. That was fabulous.
Yeah.
To have the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge in the background. That was fun. Meeting Costa has always been a Costa.
The garden.
Yeah, the garden. And that was where I first started being able to sort of explore yarn bombing in a sort of more of an art setting. And that's where I first started creating the daffodils. So I did a bench and trees in their daffodil garden. And I crocheted daffodils with Optus, and we donated money to the Cancer Council. But most of the years, Costa would open the exhibition. So he would come down and talk about all the different things. He would look at the different artwork, and every year my daughter would get up on stage and open the exhibition with him. It just kind of became a thing after a few years. So it was really lovely. I mean, he's an extraordinary human, but it was really lovely then having pictures of my daughter with Costa as she grew up.
She grew up.
Yeah,
oh,
I mean she'll be towering over him now, but that was definitely a real highlight, and just I won an accessibility award. So I did a piece in the kids area where it was all very touchy-feely.
He looked great with some beautiful daisies in his beard.
He's done that.
Has he?
If you look in Logies, that's the word.
Yeah.
Yes. And when he's there, and he has the most incredible floral beard.
Yeah.
Creation. It's
that,
amazing.
I feel like your crochet daisies.
I think maybe Costa. If you're listening.
Yes, definitely. What's something you'd love people to know about crochet that you think they might not expect?
It's not as hard as you think, and you don't have to follow set patterns. Like, you don't have to follow the rules. If you don't hold your hook how they tell you to on YouTube or in the books, it's okay, because you're creating the stitch.
Yeah, I think the first time I met you, we were talking about mistakes in crochet, or like how, there's a little bit of a fumble there, but it doesn't matter. And it's such a I think people think, oh no, I have to be regimented, I need to
Yep.
follow every single rule. Now maybe amigurumi is a little bit different, making
Yep.
toys.
Yep.
If you don't go with the pattern, you're going to get a
Yeah,
completely
it's gonna
different
be-
shape.
Yep, exactly.
But with freeform crochet,
Yep.
I think it's perfect. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Like just your...
Just the process.
Yeah,
of,
just your process
I
and
just-
you know, I feel like we were having our chat about going through and telling the students, like, it doesn't matter.
No.
Go through this way or go
Yep.
through this way. Or
Exactly, and that's, when I do teach, I think it's important to learn how to do the stitches properly. Like, I get that. But once you know how to do a single crochet or a double crochet, then, okay, this is where the books say that you should put your hook. But if you put your hook here, you're going to create this, or put your hook here, and it's going to do something a little bit different. And I think that's the beauty of it. The fact that once you know the stitch, up to you. Put it wherever. Create a ridge, create a pattern, create a curved shape. There's some fabulous freeform crochet which takes it to the next level. There was a beautiful, I think it's on Instagram, Chris made this, she does some crochet flowers as well, but she's been doing freeform, and it's just this patterns. There's no pattern, but it's just the shapes. And she's gone, okay, I'm going to put this stitch here, or I'm going to add this colour here, and it's this beautiful creation. It's lovely. So just accept the mistakes is a big thing. Breathing.
it makes it
is a big
yours
thing.
too. It
does,
makes it
and-
something so individual that you are
Yep.
the only person that will have ever made that.
And don't beat yourself up when when it's not 100% perfect. That's okay. That's okay.
true.
I mean, and that's hard for a lot of people. I have a special friend who she likes things to be perfect. Likes them to be. I'm like, just do this, just do that. And she's horrified at me. No,
It takes
it's
time.
not what it says. Yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really loved that about you when you were talking about, like, it just doesn't matter. It
Yeah.
just doesn't matter.
And I get the fact that it's hard for it's
Yeah.
it's not an easy thing for everybody to be able to accept that. But yeah, that's why I love crochet. It's a forgiving craft, and it gives me what I need to be able to keep moving on with my days. Well, we didn't really talk about the wattle, did we? No. These are a really, really simple make, and they're really addictive. So it's really simple, and you can, once you put them then with some real leaves as well, they look really impressive in a bouquet. But it's really simple. So you're chaining, doing little puff stitches, and then creating, and you can do, I suggest a certain amount of chains, but you end up with something that sort of looks straight like that, and then you can twist it round just to give it some personality again. And they're different
Yeah, I love the
lengths.
two-tone. I love the two
It's lovely,
colours
isn't it?
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just looking.
The patterns come as a digital download. They are available online as well. Now, does anyone have any questions?
Compared to knitting, what do you see crochet can do different things from knitting?
I love knitting. Knitting's lovely. Crochet for me is a lot more expressive, which I'm sure I'm going to offend a lot of knitters by saying that. Just being able to, for me, certainly when I'm doing the flowers, just the shape and the flexibility of doing certain things without it sort of affecting the integrity. Texture, I find that, again, I'm probably going to really upset knitters, but I find that, and the speed for me. I mean, I'm not a fast knitter, but I find that anything that's crochet, you can work up a lot quicker than you can when you're knitting.
Thank you so much for joining us
Thank
this
you.
Saturday. I have learnt a lot, and I hope you have as well. And we, Morris & Sons, absolutely adore you, Alison. We are just so thrilled to have you with us.
Thank you very much. It's
That's
an
okay.
absolute pleasure being here. I love it.